Good afternoon, children. What's up? Welcome to this session. So, yet another ICSE Class 10 in one shot chapter. And the chapter we are going to be discussing in one shot today is the nervous system. And this will include sense organs also. Okay. And welcome back to my session. And this is Ambika, your biology master teacher, right here on the super duper platform of Vedantu 9th and 10th English. So guys, if there's anyone here who hasn't subscribed to our channel yet or is here for the very first time and hence hasn't yet decided whether or not to subscribe, please don't hesitate to click on the subscribe button right now, because you will get to know for yourself that we do a lot of amazing stuff here, not just with regard to your subjects, but also with regard to giving you tips and tricks, giving you motivation series and a lot more. Okay? Right. Good afternoon, Akanksha. Good afternoon, Mimansa. Hi, Katyayani. Hi, Parzival. Is that right? Parzival. Okay. Hope so. Good afternoon. ICSE VIP series. On the cards. Yes, Jasmine. All right. Sonu Sood sir is also live on the other channel. Yes. Yes, Chaitya. All right. Anyway, children, don't worry. I know many people here might want to have a look at, might want to watch the Vedantu's Got Talent while it's happening live. So I would love to go ahead with full cooperation from your side so that we can finish this very, very quickly. What's it? Yes? All right. Yes, Suchi. Good afternoon, Suchi. All right. No, but it will start very soon, right, Anushri? It's also supposed to start at 3 p.m. So the actual contents would start quite soon. The core of the show will be starting quite soon. So yes, perhaps if you guys cooperate, we can finish this very quickly. Maybe like within 25-30 minutes, right? Okay. So children, do not leave yet. Do not just leave randomly, because I have a very short Menti also designed for you in this session. So whenever I feel like the energy is the best, whenever I feel like in between the session, the Josh is at its best, I will get started with the Menti. Is that fine? Yes, done. Okay, and here we get started with ICSE Class 10 in one shot for the chapter Nervous System. Good afternoon, Suhani. Okay, right. Everyone says okay. Children, as always, starting with a positive quote. Remember to do it now. Sometimes later becomes never. This is something that I have also personally experienced. When we are teenagers, when we are very young children, even adults also for that matter, I must admit that we tend to put off certain things. We tend to keep postponing things, procrastination basically. We are like, it's okay, we can do this tomorrow, or we can do this next week. We can start next month. Something like that. But most of the time when that happens, if you don't have the motivation to get started with it right now, chances are quite high that you will never start it. Okay? So remember. All right. Nice to know that, Parzival. But am I pronouncing your name right? Parzival. Or if it's not right, please type it in maybe a language, a local Indian language, which I can read possibly. Okay? Good afternoon. All right. Yes, Jivika. Hi, Shagun. Okay. Right. Hi, Bhargavi. Okay. So, children, getting started. In this chapter, nervous system, these are the topics. I know that looks like a very long list of topics, but for your reference, we have put in everything right here. At a glance, it's available for you. What is neuron, the structure of it, the central nervous system, which includes brain and the spinal cord, all about the peripheral nervous system and its subparts, somatic and autonomic. And we also talk about voluntary and involuntary actions, the types of reflexes, some common reflexes in humans, nervous pathway and reflex arc, and the eye and ear. Okay? All right. Children, as we go through this, I will also tell you then and there what are the most frequently asked topics from among these for ICSE Class 10 boards. To be very honest, ideally, because this year a lot of chapters have been deleted from your syllabus, ideally you shouldn't be taking a chance in skipping any of these, because there are just 9 chapters for you right now, which means there are better chances of questions being asked for more weightage from a particular chapter, right? Yes. Hello, Ishita. Hope I said your name right this time, right? Shilpi Jaiswal, Ishita Jaiswal, right? Okay. Uh, Pars. Okay, I is silent. Parswell. Parswell, is it? Okay. Right. Got it. Got it. Okay. Hello, Dasarvar. Okay, so children, why do we need a nervous system? Now remember children, I won't be going into every single tiny bit of detail because it is a one-shot series. It's a one-shot session in the one-shot series. So we will be brushing through it. A very quick revision is all that I intend to do through this session. And remember, those of you who joined late, we will have a Menti also. All right. Okay, so the need for a nervous system to be informed about surroundings, to think, remember, and reason, to control all voluntary muscle activity, and to regulate involuntary muscle activity, and a lot more. There are plenty of beautiful reasons we can think about to explain why we actually need a nervous system. To be able to read the live chats, to be able to read out the names of Suchi, Attitude, Sohani, Aryan. For all of these, I need my nervous system to be working, right? For all of us, this is the case, right, guys? Exactly. Don't worry at all, Jivika. Just take it as a casual thing. You guys will just rock. I'm sure about that. Okay? Don't worry. All right. So what exactly is a neuron now? Neuron is a structural and functional unit of the nervous system. Like the nephron is a structural and functional unit of the excretory system. Neuron is a functional unit of the nervous system. And there are three parts to it. As you can see, starts with the cell body, the major cell body, or the cyton as it's most commonly known. Then the dendrites. These tiny branches are called the dendrites. And then comes the long branch, which is called the axon. And at the end of this, what we see are axon terminals or nerve terminals. Okay, right. Now, how are nerve impulses transmitted? Now, if you remember, direction of nerve impulse transmission is unidirectional. What receives the nerve impulses? Dendrites, right? Dendrites receive nerve impulses from the previous neuron and it conducts it within the cell body, passes it across through the axon. All right? Yes. Great to know that, Shagun. I am so glad to hear that. Right. Okay. So this is it. To understand how nerve impulse transmission works, you must be familiar with what a synapse looks like. A synapse would include synaptic vesicles, the presynaptic membrane, postsynaptic membrane, the synaptic cleft, and the receptors. Okay, and neurotransmitters. Can somebody here tell me what is the most commonly available neurotransmitter in the human body? Yes, guys, very quickly. Unidirectional is only in one direction. Anuvab. Okay, it doesn't occur in the reverse direction. It's from dendrites to the cell body to the axon. All right. Exactly. Yes. Great, Bhargavi. I like that spirit. Okay. Acetylcholine, Katyayani, Abhijay, Kapil, Abhilasha, Shreya. Nice. Shreya, you are the usual Shreya Sharma who comes in my regular sessions, is it? Or are you a different Shreya? Great job. Great job. Yes, guys. So acetylcholine is the most commonly available neurotransmitter in the human body. Now, about how exactly this occurs. Remember, you must know what we mean by the polarized state and the depolarized state and what repolarization would mean. Basically, the nerve impulse transmission would work on the principle of the concentration of the permeability of the neuronal membrane to sodium and potassium. Okay, right. So these are the steps of it. Children, I know this is one of the trickiest concepts that children find to understand. So those of you who want to learn this in detail, go to the main playlist. All right, check out the main playlist and out there you will find videos in which I have explained this well in detail. So have a look at that. You will be able to learn this well in detail. All right, guys. Yes. So starting with a resting state. Okay, starting with the resting state, wherein we say that nothing is happening in the neuron. But then when a nerve impulse approaches the neuron, or it pretty much passes through it, the ion channels in the axon are voltage gated. We must keep that in mind. And then depolarization occurs, which means a sort of imbalance in the polarized state, loss of the polarized state. That's what depolarization is. Now, depolarization at one axon segment triggers the opening of ion channels in the next segment, right? Consequently, the action potential spreads along as a wave of depolarization. So this is what occurs. Depolarization while the next segment would be resting, and then that becomes depolarized while this becomes repolarized, and so on. This is how action potentials spread around, right? Exactly. It goes in a sequence. Yes. Yes, Aryan. All right. So now coming to the types of neurons. There are three major types. What are they? Sensory, motor, association. Sensory would mean they transmit impulses from the receptors to the central nervous system. Secondly, motor neurons would mean from the central nervous system to the effector organs, by which I mean the glands or the muscles. And association neurons, which are located in the central nervous system, connecting the sensory to the motor neuron, pretty much act like an association, literally like a connection, interlinking between sensory and motor neuron. Okay, right. So this is what we mean by talking about the types of neurons, and also talking about the presence of a myelin sheath. Even on the presence of absence, on the basis of that, there are two kinds of neurons which are myelinated, wherein, as you can see very clearly, nerve impulses get transmitted a lot faster, or unmyelinated, wherein there is no myelin sheath protecting the axon, wherein nerve impulse transmission would be a lot slower. Okay, right. So this is about the different kinds of neurons. Now coming to the types of the nervous system, the broad overview of the different kinds, different components of the nervous system. Now, children, if you remember, the nervous system can overall be divided into two. The central nervous system, which includes our president and vice president. Who are they? The brain and the spinal cord. We can say brainstem also, but chiefly it's the brain and the spinal cord. Then the peripheral nervous system, which includes all the nerves, basically. It is the body's link to the outside world. Okay, so under peripheral nervous system, there's autonomic and somatic, and under autonomic, there is sympathetic and parasympathetic as well. Okay, children, let me make it very clear. Okay, yes, Abhinandan, you are a bit late today. Okay, but no worries. We are discussing the ICSE Class 10 chapter Nervous System in one shot. So children, remember, as I told you, any doubts that you may have related to this, I know it can be a little difficult for you, probably like difficult or tricky for you, or you may feel a little lazy to go and check out the main playlist. But remember, children, we have discussed every single concept as part of your syllabus in the main playlist as part of the Umang series. Okay? Watch all the videos of Umang series. If you still have doubts, bring them up. Okay? Right. So we move on to the central nervous system, made up of our president and our vice president, the brain and the spinal cord. Now, brain is contained in a bony box which we call the cranium. Right? Cranium is a part of the skull. And spinal cord, where is it? Touch behind you and feel it. It's the vertebral column. Children, you know what? Let me just tell you something. When I ask you what is the difference between spinal cord and backbone, what would you tell me? Spinal cord and backbone. Yes? Suchi, I have given you a quick reply to your mail. Okay? In detail, I will be replying to you a little later. All right? If you check, you would know. Okay. Okay, nice to know that, Shagun. Yes, Ishant, of course. Quickly tell me the answer to the question that I asked you. Exactly, Shreya, Mimansa, Bhargavi, they have all said that the answer is the spinal cord is contained in the vertebral column. Vertebral column is what we call the backbone. The reason I'm asking you is I have seen a lot of people, not just students, I have seen a lot of grown-ups also who think that spinal cord is your backbone. No, you guys have bang on said it right. Spinal cord is protected by the backbone or the vertebral column. right? Now, what is your brain? It basically is everything. It decides everything for you. Your body's computer, your decision maker, decides everything for you. Memory, processing, hearing, taste, touch, smell, heart rate, breathing, movement coordination, vision, everything taken care of by your brain. Now, the coverings of the brain, this is very important for you to know. There are three layers which form what we call meninges. Right, children? The outer dura mater, the middle arachnoid, and the inner pia mater. And in between them, there is cerebrospinal fluid, which moves around to protect the brain from various shocks. Right, children? Okay. Now, coming to another term called corpus callosum. Now, these nerve fibers which you see here in the middle, connecting the right and left hemispheres of the cerebrum, is what we mean by corpus callosum. Okay, so basically corpus callosum helps in conducting nerve impulses from one half of the brain to the other, this way to that, or that way to this, that doesn't matter, but basically acts as a sort of interaction between the two hemispheres of your brain. Okay, right. Now, my ICSE class 10 children, I want you to pay extra attention here, because one of the most favorite questions asked in past years' papers for ICSE is this. A question based on this diagram. In the case of a section of the brain, you would see the outer gray matter and inner white matter, whereas in the case of spinal cord, it would be exactly the opposite, right? Bhargavi says my favorite part. Okay, outer gray matter, inner white matter. Why is it so? That is something that you must know. The gray matter gets its color because of the arrangement of cell bodies of the neuron, the cytons of the neurons. And the white matter gets its color from the axons of the neuron, the arrangement of the axons. Yes, exactly. Yes, Mimansa. And it would be the opposite in the case of spinal cord. Talking about the cerebellum. The cerebrum, as I have told you, connected by the corpus callosum, is your seat of intelligence. Now, cerebellum is a small area of the brain located at the base, okay, a part of your hindbrain, and it helps in maintaining balance and helps in coordinating muscular activity, walking along a straight line, cycling. All of these are possible because of the action of cerebellum. Then comes the medulla oblongata, which is also a part of your hindbrain, and it controls activities of a lot of your internal organs. Yes, guys, exactly, right? This is why we say that an injury on the back side of the head can cause death. Okay, it can be very dangerous. So children, now that reminds me of something. Okay, I know you guys are like entering probably 16 years of age or something, 15, 16 years of age. You might have this excitement or sort of urge within you, the curiosity within you to start riding two-wheelers, as in bikes, motor, not cycles, especially two-wheeler bikes, scooty, or any kind of the bikes. Whatever you may do, I would suggest don't try it till you turn 18. First of all, it's illegal to try it before that. Secondly, whenever it is that you start riding two-wheelers, make a good quality helmet part of your two-wheeler journey. Okay? Yes. So, yes, children. So always, always, always remember that even if you are going to a nearby shop, that's not an excuse for not wearing a helmet. I know a lot of cases where just because of not wearing a helmet, accidents have resulted in deaths, unfortunately. Such a simple thing that they could have taken care of, wearing a helmet, right? Yes. So children, always, always remember this. Okay. So moving ahead to the three major regions of the brain. What are they? Quickly. Forebrain, midbrain, and the hindbrain, right? Okay. Yes. Mixed neurons, we don't say mixed neurons, Anuvab. We normally say association neurons. We say mixed nerves normally for the nerve, but yes, it would mean pretty much the same. Association neurons or interneurons is how we most commonly call it. Okay, right. So yes, the part of the forebrain, what are they? The cerebrum and the diencephalon. The diencephalon further includes thalamus and the hypothalamus. Children, remember the functions of all this, and this will come through continuous revision. Okay? Now, children, these notes will be available to you. Those of you who haven't been making use of the handwritten notes available in every session, in the description box below, please check it out after every session has happened, as in not immediately. If it's a live session, it will be uploaded on the same day or at the most within the next day. Okay, please make the best use of it, because we are putting it out there for your benefit. We don't charge anything for you for good quality notes, right, guys? Okay, so please do make the best use of it. All right, thank you, Akanksha. Yes, thalamus and the hypothalamus. And then the midbrain is a very small part. It's a stalked part which has reflexes involving eyes and ears. Okay, and then comes the hindbrain. I've already told you about cerebellum and medulla. Apart from this, there's also pons, which carries impulses from one hemisphere of the cerebellum to the other, and also helps in muscle coordination. And also keep in mind, pons helps medulla in controlling breathing rate. Okay, right. So children, after your brain, what comes next? Now this part, this is your last part of the brain. Below that, there's the brain stem, and that connects it to the spinal cord. So let us now talk about the spinal cord. As I told you, coming back to yet another important concept, I told you in spinal cord, it would be exactly the opposite. Children, Menti will be coming very soon. Stay alert. Okay. Right. So gray matter, inner gray matter, outer white matter in the case of spinal cord. Most commonly, the question asked is with this image. As in, the labels will not be there. This image, these two images will be given to you. Maybe it will be labeled as A and B. You would be asked to write which of these is spinal cord and which of these is brain, or rather identify A and B. That's it. And probably questions based on that. Okay. Right. Yes, exactly, Mimansa. Inner gray and outer white in the case of spinal cord, inner white and outer gray in the case of the brain. Okay, right. Now, this is, we are done with this much. The central nervous system, which is the body's master control unit, includes brain and the spinal cord, which means we are done with CNS. Now left with PNS, which is the body's connection with the outside world. This is divided into somatic and autonomic nervous system. Let us try and understand what they do. Okay, but before that, continuing with the function of the spinal cord, what do? Basically, they help in conducting sensory impulses from the skin and muscles to the brain. But more importantly, you know what they do? They help in conducting reflexes, which are below your neck region. Okay? Right. So, these are the major parts of the nervous system. Yes, this is what the central nervous system does. Like in short, this is what it does about the brain and the spinal cord, and about peripheral nervous system. I've told you earlier that it includes nerves which emerge from the brain and spinal cord and enter the brain and spinal cord respectively. Okay, guys? Exactly. Everyone can participate. Absolutely. Yes, Divaski. Is that right? Divaski. Nice to know that, Bhargavi. Bhargavi says she got 35 out of 40 in biology exam. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay. Now, continuing. Children, remember, as I told you, we are done with Doubts Plus Menti and everything earlier. So please check out Umang series. A lot of questions here seem like a repeat of whatever we've discussed over there. All right, guys? Okay. Now, peripheral nervous system. Periphery is what? Around or surrounding, right? The body's link to the outside world. So, somatic nervous system, which sends information to the skeletal muscles. And autonomic nervous system, which includes pairs of chains of ganglia to control involuntary actions. Okay, so this is what both of them do. Always remember, cranial nerves and spinal nerves, they are very important part of the somatic nervous system. Somatic nervous system includes 12 pairs of cranial nerves in human beings and 31 pairs of spinal nerves in human beings. Okay, and this is where they are positioned. Yes, nerves arising from the brain are called cranial nerves. Nerves arising from the spinal cord are called spinal nerves. Okay, and the division is mentioned here. Children, remember, I've told you already, one-shot series. So, quick brush up is what I intend to do. Okay, yes. Control and coordination, Okay. Yes, you mean the CBSE chapter, which has been deleted this year, right, Parswell? I guess so. I guess that's what you're talking about. Yes, this is pretty much like that. All right. Okay. Yes. On Monday, that is on 18th of Jan, you have your science pre-boards. All the best, Anushree. I am sure you're gonna rock. Okay. The autonomic nervous system, what does it do? Sympathetic and parasympathetic are its subcomponents. Sympathetic system, fight or flight. What is the best example I give you? Yes, somebody here. Yes, Bhargavi says snake example. Can anyone else think of any other common examples which I give you for fight or flight? Snake example, yes. Apart from that, Shreya also says snake. Snake is like the most popular one, is it? What I have always said. Shreya, Akanksha, Chaitya, Bhargavi, everyone saying. Mimansa says owl. Okay, right. When we touch a heated object, no, that is not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a reflex, Parswell. And no, I'm talking about the time when you get really scared. Like you really have to either fight or just fly away, run away from that situation. Yes, bull behind us, says Chaitya. Right. Okay. Apart from this, I have also told. Shreya says, "Ma'am, you have told us only that." I have also told you, if you remember, horror movies like Conjuring and The Nun and all those horror movie series, right? Exactly. Or a wild animal, anything. A tiger, a wild dog, a stray dog behind us. Yes, Annabelle, says Akanksha. Okay, so children, that is what sympathetic system does. Just remember the caption, fight or flight. You basically have to literally fight whatever you're facing, or you have to just fly away from the scene. Whatever will help you best. Your sympathetic nervous system, the adrenaline rush, will help you do just that. Okay, and parasympathetic system would help you come back to a state of normal state of mind once you have overcome that situation. Okay, rest or digest, or rest and digest. So always remember, if you have to fight or flight, what are the physiological changes which have to go through, which have to happen in your body? And when you have to rest and digest, what are the physiological changes you would want to happen in your body? Would heart rate increase or decrease? Would your pupils constrict or dilate? Would your breathing rate increase or decrease? And all of these. You have to think about all these from a logical perspective. That is exactly why I keep giving you these examples. Now I'm confident, okay? Now I'm like very, very happy and confident that you guys for sure will not go wrong with sympathetic system when it's asked in exam. Right? Okay. Now coming to reflex action. Children, Menti is going to be starting very soon. Okay? Right. Reflex action, we know they are involuntary or instantaneous movements in response to a specific stimulus, touching a hot pan, stepping on something very sharp, and so on. A flushing of tears to remove particles. It could be anything, shivering when it's too cold, just sweating when it's too hot, dilation of the pupil in dark, and applying the brakes, or maybe typing also. So basically, we have seen that reflexes can either be natural or conditioned. Natural is what you get by birth. Conditioned is what you learned reflexes, right? You learn something with experience, and it eventually becomes a reflex, like typing, applying the brakes while driving a car, and things like that. Okay, right. So these are examples for both of these, the common reflexes in human beings. Okay, now, before we get started with Menti, let me remind you, children, Vedantu Pro subscription sales are on, and remember, unlimited live classes with fun and high-level quizzes, which many children here have already been experiencing, and you guys can also participate and compete with students across the world. You get to watch interactive replays of sessions which you have missed while happening live, and also you can download the premium quality handwritten notes of master teachers. All your doubts would be solved. Assignments, test series, everything which are guaranteed and proven to make you much more confident to face exams on that particular topic. Okay, guys? And the best part is, apart from all this, for those of you who have subscribed to Vedantu Pro, free 5,000 plus micro courses and free crash courses would be a part of this. So as far as pricing is concerned, well, I think that can wait, but I will tell you about it. Remember to visit the link in the description box below, children, and check out the pinned comment. The coupon code is AMBPRO. Okay. Now, when you apply this coupon code, you get amazing discounts. Basically, you will be able to avail the 1 month subscription, Vedantu Pro subscription, with the application of the coupon code AMBPRO at just rupees 1,349. Okay, so right now special discounts are also available to you, and you can avail these courses at as low as rupees 1,166. So basically the idea is, in this offer, the price with the offer, that you get the offer when you apply the coupon code AMBPRO, you get to access like approximately 200 odd sessions in the 1 month of subscription for science, maths, social studies, English, everything. So basically that's coming down to as low as rupees 5.83 per class. That's it. Okay, so the additional discounts are gonna be on till June 2021, because we basically understand that because your exams have been postponed, going to be happening in May and June. I mean, not ICSE, but CBSE at least has officially announced it. So this will be available to you until then. Okay, guys. So remember to subscribe for this. Okay. Ma'am, are you from CBSE or ICSE? I am from CBSE. Throughout my student days, I was a CBSE student. Okay. Definitely all blessings and prayers, Aryan. You will definitely do amazingly well. All right. So yes, I think this is it. Before we come back to the mechanism of reflexes, I would actually like to take a quick break. Shall we get started with Menti? Yes. Menti? And then we'll continue. What say? Snake examples and horror examples are unforgettable, right? Okay. Right. So let us get started. Just a second, guys. In the meantime, let me fix your Menti. I will tell you the code right now. Okay. Here we go. And we are not done yet. Always remember, we still have a lot more to discuss. Okay. Sense organs also we will be covering today. So remember that, children, go to menti.com, use the code 4740333. Yes, join right now. Yes. And after this, we will be continuing our discussion. We are only midway through the session, actually. Yes. Keep going, keep going. And if you have anyone who will be who would be interested in joining the Menti, this is not going to be a long Menti, so don't worry about that. Just 5 questions which I have for you. That's it. Okay, let's see how well you perform in this. All right. You've joined Parsville? Great. Everyone else? I'm waiting for more people to join. There's no answer for that, Shubhamoy. I mean, to be honest, which is better, ICSE or CBSE or state boards? To be very honest, there are pros and cons for everything. So it's completely personal choice. What suits you and your family the best, possibly that's what you have to opt for, right? So everyone is different. So there is, I definitely don't like making a comparison this way. Shall we start? Yes? Okay, so let us move ahead and get started. Here we go. All right, how many people do we have? Children, that is very poor performance. Can we just have more people join Menti, menti.com, and the code is 4740333. You guys keep asking me, right, ma'am, Menti. And that's exactly why I have got this. All right, so I think it's time for us to look at the first question right now. And here it goes. The seat of intelligence. I'm talking about your brain, basically. Cerebellum, cerebrum, pons, or medulla. What do you think? The seat of intelligence, the most intelligent part of your brain. Give me the answer on menti.com and then give me the answer in the chat box if you want. Yes, children, as I always tell you, don't rush into the answer. Think about it, analyze it, and then give the answer. Okay? Yes, and that's about it. So, time is up. Very well done. Yes, children. Majority of you have told me, 29 of you out of 40 have told me the answer is cerebrum. Of course, it's not cerebellum. People who told me the answer is cerebellum and one hero who told me the answer is pons, please go check back the main playlist, learn everything well in detail and then come back once again. Okay? Right. Exactly, Shreya says cerebellum is basically for balance. Children, leaderboard just twice in the session. Okay? Now here is question 2. Right. So here we go. Which of these lenses is used to correct myopia? Concave, convex, either A or B, or cylindrical? What do you think? Which of these lenses is used to correct myopia? What is myopia in the first place? Think of that and then give me the answer. Yes, yes, yes. Quickly, quickly. Okay. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. 5 more seconds for you. And okay, great job. All right, nobody thinks it's C or D, but A and B, I think there is like a close confusion there. Concave is very much the right answer, as a majority have said. Convex is used to correct what? What is convex correct? Children, tell me that. And in the meantime, let's have a look at the leaderboard. Yes, convex, what does it correct? Hypermetropia. Yes, Shreya, absolutely. Convex or converging lens, right? Corrects hypermetropia or long-sightedness. Well done. Snuggles, Sara, Arolika, Ankita, Abhijay, Akanksha, Anirudh, Killer, Radu, okay, Aditya and Vidhi. Super duper cool. Keep it up, guys. All right. So let us take a quick break. We'll come back to Menti, but don't worry about that. Okay, we are just taking a very quick break from this and let us go back to our rest of the discussion. All right. So I want you all to just stay with me. Don't leave yet because I still have a few more questions in store for you. All right. So right there. Can you all see the slide? Yes, mechanism of reflexes. You thought it's a misclick but got it correct. How nice, Akanksha. Really, really lucky. Like Shikari Shambhu. I don't know how many of you know Shikari Shambhu. All right. Okay. Yes, children. So thank you. Thank you so much. So don't leave yet. As I told you, we will continue Menti a little later. All right. So mechanisms of reflexes, we know the sensory nerve tells the spinal cord that the flame is hot. In this case, I'm touching something hot and the sensory nerves, my sensory nerves are telling my spinal cord the flame is hot. This lady is in serious danger. So my spinal cord sends messages through my motor nerves to move my hand. And before my brain even realizes it, I would have moved my hand. This is the mechanism of reflexes, children. This nervous pathway in reflexes is also very important for you to know. Okay? Yes. So pay attention. Starts with the sense organs. Okay? Basically the skin. In this case, it is the skin, but it could be anything. Okay? In this case, it's the skin or the sense organ. And from here, it passes on this way. Through the spinal nerve, through the spinal ganglion, which is through the afferent neuron, messages are transported, conveyed to the interneurons, to the central nervous system. Interneurons basically do a sort of teamwork. They take a decision. Through the efferent neurons, they convey a response message to your muscles or glands to withdraw your hand or your leg or whatever part may be involved. So for you to know, these are the the components of a reflex arc. Right, children? This is also for ICSE Class 10. Reflex arc is also very important for you to know. Let me just mark that off here for you. Reflex arc is also super important for you to know from an exam perspective. Okay? You may have to identify various components of a reflex arc. All right? Thank you, Tushar. Okay. Right, children. Now, remember, the last part of the chapter is all about sense organs. Sense organs have receptors. That is how they work. Mechanoreceptors, chemoreceptors, photoreceptors, thermoreceptors and phonoreceptors. These are the most common types of receptors which help our sense organs, help us connect to the outside world. Right? Exactly. Eyes, nose, your tongue for taste, your skin for sensing anything related to touch, pressure, temperature, all of that. Right, guys? Yes, exactly. Now, the structure of the eye is something that you all must know. Of course, sense organs for some schools, it's taught as a separate chapter. And also remember, children, Bio Bites in 15-minute series. I don't really know how many ICSA children have been making use of Bio Bites in 15-minute series. To be very honest, I think I've told you earlier also. My CBSE children have made very good use of my BioBite series. ICSE children, you guys just keep coming and raising the concern, ma'am, you're not doing anything creative for ICSE children. Why everything only for CBSE? But rather, when I started off BioBites for ICSE, you guys don't seem to have that much of excitement or energy. Well, I'm not sure if that's the case, then we might have to rethink about doing VIP series and Sprintex and all of that for ICSE, right? Because, I mean, I'm not sure how many of you make the best use of it. Well, in case you have not, there's nothing to worry yet because that's still available, right? So you can check out the playlist of BioBites in 15 minutes. And for sense organs, for the structure of the eye, the ears, and the mechanism of vision and hearing, I've made a video on that over there. Okay? Right. All right. Yes, children. No. It is, don't worry at all. What is there is there. I have done my part. All I'm saying is, in case you're not aware of it, please do go and check it out because we work very, very hard and we come up with a lot of creative series for you guys, right? I don't know how many YouTube channels are out there who specially cater to the entire syllabus of ICSE, right? I'm very honestly telling you that, right? Okay. Yes. So children, that is about the structure of the eye, and for your benefit, we have also summarized everything in the form of a table. Sclera is basically the white part of the eye. Okay, so shall I just fill that up here? The white portion of the eye, white of eye. And then you have the conjunctiva, which is the covering and that protects the sclera. If you actually fold up your upper eyelid, you would see a red portion. That is extension of the conjunctiva. Okay, yes. All right. Yes, exactly. Parswell is saying ICSE, CBSE, both are equal for math. Children, last year, if you think of it on the Hindi channel, it was only for bio that we had ICSE series, right? Because although we wanted to do it for physics and chemistry also, the teachers weren't free enough to do that. But for bio, we had like 3 teachers, and as a result, we could do an ICSE series also. But this year, that is exactly why we started a dedicated channel, and that is exactly why this is also there. So if there's anyone here who hasn't subscribed to the channel yet also, please click on the subscribe button right now. You will get to see all the amazing stuff that we keep putting up here on this channel. Okay, guys? Yes. Thank you, Adil. Okay. So these are the different parts of the eye: the conjunctiva, the cornea, the outer, the transparent layer of the eye, the choroid, the iris, which is the colored part of the eye, green, blue, hazel, brown, black, whatever it may be, right? And then the pupil, which the center part of the iris, right? Basically like the whole of the South Indian vada. Or the whole of the donut. That is what the pupil looks like. Then the ciliary muscles, which hold the iris in place. The lens, which is a biconvex lens. The retina, wherein the images are formed. The fovea, which is the point where resolution is greatest. Basically, as part of the fovea, we say the yellow spot is the area of best vision. And cone cells are highly concentrated over there. Then the blind spot, wherein there is no vision at all. Aqueous humor, which provides nourishment to the lens. Vitreous humor, which holds the spherical shape of the eyeball. These are the parts of the eyes. All right. Right. You love South Indian food, Suchi. So do I, of course. For me, I mean, beyond doubt, right? I needn't have said that because honestly, I'm South Indian. So, but for me, Indian food in general, I love it. Okay, I must say that. Now, how do we see? Look at that. Light rays enter into our eyes. They get bent through the cornea, through the lens. Ultimately, they do undergo some amount of refraction. They get bent and eventually they form an image on the retina. Okay. Sclerotic layer, choroid layer, and the retinal layer. You need to know that order. So yes, always remember, when you look at a distant object, your ciliary muscles would relax and cause your lens to flatten. But when you're looking at something close up, like very, very close, it strains your eyes a lot because your ciliary muscles are contracting and makes your lens become more spherical. Okay. Yes, Ishita, we will be continuing the Menti. I don't know if you were part of the earlier Menti. We already had like one round of Menti. The remaining part will be coming in a few minutes. Okay. Right. All right. Okay, children. So this is about the eye and the accommodation of the eye, right? The ability of the eye to, okay. So I think there has to be two M's here. Sorry about the typo. Accommodation, right? The ability of the eye to change its vision, change its focus rather, from distant to nearby objects and vice versa. This is what we mean by accommodation of the eye. So that's basically the mechanism of vision. And then through the optic nerves, it's transmitted to the brain and you perceive it as, children, tell me, what sort of an image is formed on the retina? Describe the kind of image which is formed on our retina. Yes? Quickly. 3D, says Chaitra. That's not what I'm asking for. Real inverted. Yes, Shreya. Real inverted. Yes, 3D is also, I mean, you can add to it, but erect and real and inverted. Okay. Yes, real and inverted. But then your brain is able to perceive it as real, erect images. Now, coming to your ear, it helps in balance and hearing. We all know that it's divided into external ear or the outer ear, made up of the pinna and the auditory canal, followed by the middle ear. And in between outer and middle ear, there is the eardrum or the tympanic membrane, right? Exactly. You are a big foodie, but you don't know to cook. You don't know to cook or you don't like to cook, Bhargavi? Okay, right. And then moving ahead further, remember that the eustachian tube connects the middle ear to your throat. That's important to know. As a one marker, it could come. And as part of the inner ear, the snail-like structure, which we call the cochlea, and all that fluid which is there, which helps you hear. So sound waves are perceived by your external ear. They go and vibrate the eardrum, the tympanic membrane. And further, the ear ossicles, malleus, incus, and stapes would also vibrate, and they would transmit the vibrations, magnify, amplify the vibrations, and pass it on to the inner ear, which comprises of the cochlea, semicircular canals, and vestibules. The fluids which you find are endolymph and perilymph. Okay? Yes, children. So this is the mechanism of hearing. We know, I mean, I've already told you this, but just for you to get a better idea about this, pinna collects the vibrations and conducts it through the auditory canal. Vibrations strike on the eardrum. Okay, and this vibrates the ear ossicles. The stirrup, which is one of your ear ossicles, it transmits vibrations to the oval window, which is right here, and fluid in the cochlear canals would receive the vibrations, stimulates the sensory cells, which are found in the organ of Corti, and impulses would be picked up by the auditory nerves, sent to the brain. Okay, this is how you're able to identify whether it's Anubha ma'am speaking, or if it's Ambika ma'am speaking, or if it is Amrit sir, or if it is Harsh sir or Abhishek sir, whatever it is. You are able to identify us by our voices, hopefully, right? No, Katyayani, you can be considered fortunate if you are in ICSE. Mainly, normally, you're not asked to draw these diagrams. Generally, maybe to label diagrams, possibly, but normally not for drawing. Okay? So, this is it. Now, children, let us continue Menti, shall we? Ready? Yes, you will have to label it. Yes, yes, yes. Anuvab, you may have to label it, of course. Ready for remaining part of the Menti? Yes, guys. In our board, you might get diagram-based questions. You never know. Section B can be very, very tricky. You never know. All right. So children, go to menti.com. I mean, we'll continue with it. Let's see what can be done. Okay. Just a second, children. Here it is. Question number 3 is right here for you. The code that you can use is 4740333. An inborn reflex action among these is, yes, give me the answer very quickly. We'll be done very soon. Okay, we just have 3 more questions. Right? Knitting, driving, sneezing, or all of these. Inborn reflex action. Yes, what do you think? C, sneezing? Yes? And your time is up. Let's see. Okay, right. So the answer is sneezing, as all of you have said. Yes, guys. What exactly is an inborn reflex action, basically? Knitting and driving are things that you learn, right? Conditioned reflexes. Sneezing is something that even a newborn baby would be able to do. Remember, that's the trick that I always tell you. What you have to identify as an inborn reflex or a conditioned reflex, whatever a newborn baby is capable of doing, that is a natural reflex or an inborn reflex. 8 heroes, says Abhijay. Yes. Okay. Question number 4, and that's bringing us towards the end of today's Menti. Righto. Cone cells help in dash. Quickly tell me the answer. Hearing, balance, dim vision, or color vision. Cone cells, what do they help us in? Yes, children? Training is not needed, says. Okay. Yes, for the reflex, right? Exactly. Righto. So there we go. And your time will be up in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right. So, absolutely right. Colored vision. Remember, children, C for cone, C for color. That's the best way of remembering it. And the last and final question for today, following which we will be looking at the leaderboard. Let us have a look at it very quickly. Right. The number of cranial nerves in humans is dash. Misclick, no worries, Akanksha. 12, 10, 31, 32. Quickly tell me, number of cranial nerves in humans. It happens, misclick happens. As long as you guys are being faithful to yourself, nothing else matters. Okay. And your time is up in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right. And the answer is, well done, well done. Majority of you have told me the answer is 12, of course. Yes, children. 12 cranial nerves. 12 pairs of cranial nerves, rather. What about 31? What is the number 31? What does it indicate? Yes, 31 is what? Spinal nerves. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. Yes, spinal nerves. Yes, Shreya. So, Anirudh, very, very well done. Anirudh is at the top of our leaderboard. But also special congratulations to Arolika, Shreya, Aditya, Parswal, Sara, Tanushri, Shivani, Abhijay, and Suchi. Very well done, guys. There we go. Super duper cool. You guys have been amazing. And here, let me continue and let me remind you now that you now know about, yes, what is neuron, the structure, the central nervous system, peripheral, reflexes, reflex pathway, and the sense organs, right, children? Please remember to check out the main playlist, and on top of that, please check out the link so that you can know more details about Vedantu Pro subscription. Now is the right time to get started. But also remember the coupon code AMBPRO. All right? Yes, congratulations to all the amazing performers in today's quiz. And even if your name did not come on the leaderboard, children, no worries at all. No worries at all. Yes? Okay. Right. So, children, thank you very much. Click on the like button if you have enjoyed this, and share it with all your ICSE Class 10 friends, because one-shot series will certainly help in last-minute revisions. Please check out Bio Byte series also. Okay? That will definitely benefit you all. And children, stay subscribed to the channel Vedantu 9th and 10th English. Instagram as well, Ambika_Vedantu. Yes, guys, go ahead, enjoy Vedantu's Got Talent. I would love to just see that you're all participating well to encourage all your friends over there as well. Right, guys? Take care. Take care. Bye bye.